guys, for today's look, I did a look inspired by strawberry lemonade. I don't know about you guys, but I really like strawberry lemonade. I had it yesterday and it was super good, so therefore I had to do a look inspired by it. And I mostly used this Paaaarty matte palette, and I really like the shades in this one, and I really like these like bright neon pigments. They're super cool, and they're really fun to work with. I also did like a little unique touch of doing like a little pop of yellow in the inner corner. And I really think it looks really cool, and I think it really made the look kind of come together and kind of gave it like that strawberry lemonade feel to it as well. So if you would like to see how I did this look, just stay tuned on watching. To start off this tutorial, I'm going to use a Too Faced Shadow Insurance for my eyeshadow primer. I'm just going to apply this all over the lid, underneath the eye, and then just make sure I get it in this inner corner because I'm going to be putting a pop of color here. Next, using the Paaaarty matte palette, I'm going to go in with my Sigma E35 blending brush and go into Caress, which is kind of a matte white. And with this shade, I'm just going to lightly set my primer. With this shade also, I'm going to really just kind of lightly dot the inner corner just to kind of bring a little bit more brightness to it, so when we start blending, then we have this foundation down. You don't need to make it like opaque, but just enough where it kind of like pops a little bit. Next, using the same matte palette and the same brush, I'm going to go into Cancun right here, which is a really nice peachy shade. I'm not going in with a lot of product. I'm really kind of doing like a light wash, and then I'm going to build it up. Another thing I'm kind of doing is I'm kind of like building this like outer C shape in my outer V. Like I'm kind of doing like a curve. I'm not like winging it out. I'm doing more like C curve, just to kind of make like a rounded effect. And next I'm gonna go in with a little bit more color and really pack this into my crease. What I do is I kind of like tilt my brush upward, and then I just rock the brush back and forth into the crease. Next, in the same palette, I'm going to go into this shade called Vegas right here, which is a nice pretty orange. And with this shade, I'm just going to start building it into my crease to bring in a little bit more definition. I'm not really bringing this color upwards, I'm just kind of like focusing it in my crease and blending it into Cancun. Next, out of the same palette, I'm going to go into Lumbia, which is this beautiful neon pink, using the same Sigma E35 blending brush. And I'm just going to be placing this shade into my crease. You know what I've noticed lately on Instagram is a lot of people do the darkest to light approach with their eyeshadow. Personally, I've never done it that way. So like what you would do is you would start with like your deepest shade that you're gonna go towards, like right here in your crease, and then you would like layer upwards with the shades that are going like lighter. So you do like your gradient fade backwards, like how I do it. I always go lightest to dark. So I start with like my transitional shade and then go to my deepest shade, whereas this approach is to go from your deepest shade to your lightest shade. I've never done it that way, but I'm really curious if it works. Do you guys do your eyeshadow that way at all? I've just noticed like a lot of those like pictorials and whatnot, they're like really pack on the color like right here in the crease, and then they blend it out. And I never have done it that way, or really have seen anybody do it that way. Maybe I'm like missing out on something, but I've never tried it. I'm not gonna lie though, this Lumbia shade is probably the most pretty pink I have tried in the longest time. It is like the most pretty neon pink without being like super chalky, because a lot of times I've noticed like the neon pigments I've tried, or like those like super bright eyeshadows, they sometimes can get super chalky and they're like really hard to work with. They're really hard to blend out. They're like really chunky and just kind of weird. I used to use them in the past when Hot Topic sold eyeshadow that had like bright colors and all of these other kind of things. I actually still have a lot of my makeup that Hot Topic used to sell. Not like the black heart stuff, but there used to be like a line that had like a little skull on it. And their eyeshadows were absolutely amazing. But unfortunately that eyeshadow would be probably 10 years old or so. So I don't know if it would be safe to use anymore, but I kind of want to like dip into it sometimes just because I want to see what I can create with it. Do you guys keep makeup from like years ago? You know you'll never use it, but you still have it because you might use it or you want to use it later, or you have like a sentimental value to it? Because I even have like old like Hello Kitty lip balms. They smell horrible and they're like way too old to use, but since they have like this cute like little zombie packaging on them, I still have them because I like the packaging and they bring back like memories when I was in my emo phase in high school. So I don't know. Maybe I should dip into my old makeup and do a look using it all because it's all like really bright colors. But let me know if you would like me to like dip into like 10-year-old makeup because I have a lot of it. Just to blend out this edge, I'm going to go back into Caress using a Real Techniques medium eyeshadow brush. And I'm really just buffing this edge just to really blend it out. What I do to blend my eyeshadow out when I do it like this is I tilt my brush actually to its side like this instead of like horizontal. I do vertical because I really feel like it really blends out the edge a little bit better. Next, using the same palette, I'm going to go in with a Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush, going into Not Safe for Work, which is a kind of a orangey red shade right here. With this shade, I'm really just going to rock it into my crease and kind of create like this outer V, kind of C shape right here. And then just really bring in a little bit more definition and really kind of bring in the deepness that we're looking for. Next, I'm going to cut my crease using the Colourpop No Filter Concealer in Fair 02 with a BH Cosmetics Flat Shader Brush. This is one that is out of the Rose Gold set. I really actually like this set a lot, and I really like these like flat brushes that came in it. They're really nice. Next, I'm going to go in with an Eco Tools concealer brush, and I'm going to go into Caress again. And I'm just going to lightly set this concealer down. This will make it so it's a little bit easier to work with later and kind of get rid of that like stickiness that I have right now. Next, to blend out this really harsh kind of crease line that I have right here, I'm going to go back in with whatever is left on my Sigma E35 brush and really just kind of like buff the edge just a little bit, just to help soften it. And again, I'm not adding any additional product, I'm just kind of lightly feathering it, the edge. Next, I'm going to go in with a little bit of Not Safe for Work on this Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush, and I'm going to really just kind of feather out this outer V here. And I'm bringing the color into about where my eye color starts, right here. I'm just going to lightly do a tapping motion too, just to blend it out. Next, with a Sigma E06, a little liner brush, I'm just going to trace my cut crease line to really bring in some definition. When I do cut creases, I really like doing this, especially with looks that look like this, because it really just kind of gives you like that added dimension. You wouldn't think it would make that much of a difference, but just this little line of dark color really makes like that crease really pop, especially in pictures and whatnot. It really like gives it, it's like putting sprinkles on a sundae. You don't have to, but it really makes like a difference and it looks a lot prettier. That's kind of how I feel with doing this, if that makes sense. Next, I'm going to go in with the Pixi Beauty Duo Highlighter and Delicate Dew, and I'm going to go into this lighter shade using, again, that Eco Tools Concealer Brush. With this, I'm really just going to lightly dust it on top of this white, just to kind of bring a little bit of shimmer to the look, but I don't want it like overpowering. I want like a little sparkle, but not like super crazy like glitter. I just want like when I tilt my head I have a little bit of shimmer. So here's where I'm at with the eyes right now, and then off camera I'm just going to apply the rest of my face. For highlighter today I'm going to go back in with that Pixi Beauty Duo in Delicate Dew. I'm going to go into this lightest shade right here with a Real Techniques fan brush. I actually really like this highlighter from Pixi. I know this isn't going to be everybody's cup of tea, but I'm going to go in with Tweety right here out of the Carity Matte palette on an Eco Tools smudger brush. And with this shade, I'm actually going to do an inner corner highlight. To top Tweety off, I'm going to go back in with my Pixi Beauty highlighter, just that lightest shade again, on that Eco Tools brush. I'm just going to apply this right in the inner tear duct. So here's the finished look. It is definitely inspired by Strawberry Lemonade. And I honestly really like this like inner corner like pop of color. I know not everybody is into stuff like that, but I think it really is a nice touch, and I really think it kind of makes the eyes open up a little bit too. And if you don't like it, you could just take out the yellow shade and then just pop in like a highlighter color or like a lighter color instead, and it would still be a really pretty look. I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below. And if you would like to follow me on other social media websites, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten and my Twitter account is @lethalskittens. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.